Welcome, everybody. Another beautiful day here in the Satisfactory land, and we got a couple of things to polish off right off the get-go here. I know, right? Back into the research. Well, let's get some homing rifle ammo, because, you know, that sounds fun. Bullet guidance system. Cool.
Homing rifle ammo unlocked. This ammo can be loaded into a normal rifle and, when fired, will seek a target. Clarification. This does not make the rifle a homing rifle. If you leave the rifle alone, even when loaded with this ammo, it will not return home like a devoted and adorable puppy and/or kitten.
They're very good, very good. And also geothermal generator. Let's finish off that Caterium line here completely.
Geothermal generator unlocked. Geysers added to the object scanner. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you deadly geothermal vents, run directly towards them and build generators. Use potentially lethal natural phenomena for your own benefit. It's the fix-it way.
That sounds about right. That sounds pretty good to me. You know, just run right towards the geyser. All right, finishing off the Caterium, that is fabulous. Let's head on over to where we left off last time at the oil factory, where we were working towards supercomputers. Now, I did complete this task. I think I mentioned that I was probably going to. I don't know, it's all becoming a blur, you know? You just... so much Satisfactory. So many conveyor belts and logistic systems and you name it. But I'm pretty sure I got most things set up correctly. We'll find out, though, here shortly as we kind of sort of explore it. All things considered, this is awesome. I mean, the fact that we expanded, got all of our power situated, got, you know, all of this stuff streamlined is really, really cool. I love that about this. Just being able to upgrade was so awesome. So, let's head on up to the up side. And, you know, kind of where we left off, we got the rubber, we got the plastic. That's all working great. No issues whatsoever, which is pretty cool. We got ourselves some concrete, more like rubber concrete, being produced up here. And we kind of have this belt system. You know, we got our rubber, we got our plastic, we got, you know, our limestone coming up, and all of these items coming back down, including the concrete from below. Over here, you know, we set up those two refineries for the heavy oil residue, and that is getting us... oh, no, these guys here, sorry. The heavy oil residue is getting us the petroleum coke that we need, whereas basically where we left off last time. As you can see, we're backlogged on that. That's fantastic. Simple little setup there, nothing too crazy. But with this kind of conveyor line, we are cruising on through accordingly, and we have a lot of things going on. Oh. Am I running short on copper? I don't think I should be, but apparently I am. It was working fine before, I swear. Okay. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. I'll take a look at that, but we should be okay. We're not lacking in copper iron. 200, 200. Okay. Aha! The culprit. See? You know, sometimes you forget a belt and the whole world comes crashing down. Okay. That should help us out quite a bit getting the copper where we need it. As you can see, it gets a little bit confusing with belts, especially in this quick wire area. You know, looping back on each other, we have these three pushing down the line. Versus, you know, these systems here on the main line all getting what they require, right? So, a little bit of a nuance and balancing act overall, but yeah, all things considered, it's working pretty darn good. I believe we left off, give or take, around here with the stators and the automated wiring. We had this guy up and running, and that is working as intended. You can start to see that we're going to head down back into the basement. We got all those modular frames coming in here. We have our stators coming in here and heading on all the way over, right? A lot of little good details here. The encased industrial beams and the steel from the concrete is all getting worked. So your petroleum coke's coming in, and we're getting ourselves the coke steel ingots, right? Which looks to be all working just fine. That's good to see. All right, from there we got our steel coming on up into iron rods, steel pipes, etc. to get ourselves all of those things that we just mentioned, right? We can get ourselves the encased industrial beams, the frames, and the stators, right? We got our iron wire coming from over here. All that kind of stuff is happening. It's all happening, folks. It's just all happening. All right. Now, that is the basics. Down here, it gets a little bit more compact, to say the least. We have our circuit boards over here producing, and those guys are backing up, which is really good to see, right? So we have our circuit boards coming on through and proceeding through. These were our computers, right? We got our computers running. No issues whatsoever. We're backed up on resources. It's great. I love to see it. On this side, though, we brought down our automated wiring. We got some, I think this is cables, right? Yeah, cables coming in. Is that what that is? We got our modular frames, some steel pipes, some of our concrete, and those encased beams to make the heavy modular frames. Again, similar to what we did over in the steel factory base, right? So, all things considered, we got ourselves our heavy modular frames. Now we get into another manufacturing situation. You see we have computers, we have circuit boards, we have heavy frames, and I can't remember the other one. Automated wiring, okay? And that guy there is making our adaptive control units, okay? These two. Kind of a crazy setup, but seems to work pretty good. So, we're getting ourselves some adaptive control units very nicely. And those guys are just heading in accordingly and down the line. We have another manufacturer behind that, and you can see, again, more circuit boards, right? More quick wire. We got ourselves that cable coming in as well. This guy's making our high-speed connectors, and it looks like our cable is now a little bit of a holdup, but it's 98%. Hopefully that ticks over to 100 at some point in time, but our cable line seems a little bit slow. Well, so, you know what? I'll just add the cable from my inventory and see where that goes. We're at like 150, give or take. 140, 150. Not too bad. All right. From there, that guy is making, of course, the high-speed connectors. Those high-speed connectors are pretty much coming out into our supercomputer manufacturers, right? These ones here are pretty much at the minimum. We got our AI limiters, we got our plastic, we got our computers, and the high-speed connectors. And these guys were making about 3 supercomputers per minute. It's not too bad. The high-speed connectors are definitely like barely getting their point. But again, these ones running at 98%. If we can get this to 100, it should be 100% across the board. So hopefully we can fine-tune that as we go. Around the bend, we got all of our stuff coming together and going into storages, right? So, boom, there we go. Supercomputers and their storage. Very nice to have. Adaptive control units, the AI limiters, the circuit boards, and the computers all coming in and all effectively getting depoted as well. So, we have all of this stuff available to us in the cloud. And that is basically where I'm going to say this build is, for now, completed. It's a little bit messy still. I'm still working on not being as messy, but it's still messy. I'm still not quite there. So there's still a lot of improvement. The nice thing about this is, though, we now have supercomputers, which means we can start to finish a couple more milestones. Okay, let's put our supercomputers in and let's launch. Away we go. Beauty.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best. Fix it, didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
All right, perfect. This milestone here looks like we should be able to complete that one a little bit easier. So we'll definitely jump into that one over the nuclear pasta side of things. This did unlock the MK3s for us. We also have the geysers, the geothermal, which is pretty darn nice. And what else? Is that about it, basically? It unlocked a couple more things. Oh, we got the drones. We might have to look into that at some point here. I can't remember the other stuff that it did, but I think the main thing here is the MK3 miner. Now, as it said, and you can see it down there, the turbo motors. We do not have turbo motors auto crafting at the moment. We do have the supercomputers, the pipes, the fused. I don't have the portable miners getting it either. That might not be, that should be an easy craft. But the turbo motors are definitely something that I would really like to start auto crafting. Oh boy, yeah, there we go. That's a thing. All right. Modular engines, turbo motors, fused, and cooling. Is that what that is? I think so. That's a doozy. I mean, we need 250 of those. That's a good amount. Turbo motors, though. Manufacturer requires the cooling systems, radio control units, motors, and rubbers. Okay. So what does a cooling system take? We're not making that. And I'm also not making the radio control system, but ooh, that one there we could probably make over at our steel factory quite easily. So that's good. But where's the cooling systems? Is it not in a manufacturer? Is it in an assembler? That seems weird. Or do I just not have it? So there's heat sinks. Where's the cooling system? Huh. Did I just miss it? I don't think I missed it. I need cooling systems. Oh, it's in a blender. Oh, okay. So it's in a blender. All right, alternate cooling device and cooling systems, which requires heat sinks. Okay. So we got to get heat sinks from here, basically. Again, this is kind of the R&D side of things a little bit. No, not from there. From here, I think it was. No? Yeah, right there. The heat exchanger or heat sink. Heat exchanger is probably a lot better. So yeah, we got... That's going to be coming in for that to make the cooling system. We can make the radio control units, I think, with the alternate radio control system recipe. That one should work pretty well. And then motors and rubber, again, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Interesting stuff, to say the least. All right. We got a very, very short time. I'm actually curious. We're unable to scan a hard drive. Okay. All right. You say so. Let's grab the items that we need. Let's grab our 50 supercomputers. Let's grab our heavy modular frames. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those guys. Let's grab all of our cable. Ooh, literally all of our cable. Nice. That'll be a bit to fill up. And then 2,000 concrete as well. All right, now the pod should be making its way down, and we can complete up this nuclear power as well. No clue what that's going to involve, but I'm sure it's complicated. Because why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? We are definitely in a complicated era at this point in time. All right. Are you back? There we go. Let's go. I'm just clicking all the things. There we go. Let's launch. We got into nuclear.
Milestone reached. The nuclear power plant produces dangerous radioactive nuclear waste. Fix It reminds you that any extra limbs resulting from exposure to radiation are also contracted to work on project assembly. Fix It also reminds you that willful exposure to radiation will not result in any bonuses regardless of how many functional limbs it produces. Project part number 7, the magnetic field generator, should enter production as soon as possible. Any unnecessary delays will be noted.
Okay, that's interesting. The assembly director system, adaptive control units, and supercomputers, we have that ready to go, don't we? We can just pipe those in and get those 500 built. That one's nice and easy. I like that. All right. Very good. We have that one basically done. Electromagnetic control rods are not too bad either. Stators and AI limiters. I can probably make that over there as well. On the manufacturing side, I don't know if it added anything. Probably did. Maybe, oh, uranium fuel rods. Okay, that's the fuel stuff. That makes sense. It didn't add... I assume it's in the blender. Is the nuclear pasta? No. Encased uranium. Where's the actual... Oh, did I not... I swear I unlocked it. Didn't I? Where's the actual, like, nuclear pasta? And maybe I didn't unlock that one. Which one did I just unlock? Nuclear power? Is that what it was? Yeah, nuclear power. Okay. So that's the uranium, the magnetic field generator as well. That's a project part that we'll have to get into. And, of course, uranium. Okay. Particle enrichment is the one with the nuclear pasta. So that should unlock the final item that we need from our system. But that requires 200 cooling systems. It requires 50 turbo motors. I mean, I can almost do this. I have the turbo motors. I don't have the cooling systems. Okay. Very good. Lots to do, lots to work on as we go and explore. I wanted to see, do we have the capability to scan a hard drive now? We do. Awesome. So something else is unlocked in this great scheme, which might even provide us even further possibilities. All right, so I think my first goal here is twofold. I think we need to get ourselves making the radio control systems to get radio control units built. We need to get ourselves the heat sinks or heat exchangers, whichever one. And that will allow us to get into a cooling device or an alternate cooling device, which is nitrogen, or I think it's still nitrogen, right? Water and heat sink. Yeah, I'm not sure which one's better there. More heat sinks with rubber and less liquid. Yeah, I'm not too sure. That's a tough one. I'm not going to lie. But I'll explore that as well. So I think kind of a goal is let's get to cooling systems, right? Let's get to radio control units. And maybe let's actually build the assembly director systems. We need 500 of those. And I think we can make that pretty easily. Oh, we need more versatile framework, eh? Along with electromagnetic wires. Whew. So many little things. Okay, I think this should be a pretty easy one for us to complete here. So, the radio control system, I should have everything that I need right here. So I did an overflow smart here. So that guy can just basically connect right in. No problem. Crystal oscillators completed. Very, very nice. Aluminum casings. I thought I had it coming down here. Don't I? I swear I did. No? I'm not seeing it. I do have circuit boards over here, so I did kind of the same thing as what I did here. So let's just throw in some more. This is going to be an overflow. So, I mean, I upped the production here to 13, which should be enough to handle... I mean, this is 3. So that should give us 10 extras that come on this line and head on up. And that'll give us our circuit boards that we require for this thing. I swear I brought down aluminum casings, though. But maybe I haven't yet. It's a possibility. Okay. Well, right from upstairs, we do have them. So I guess I'll just have to find them and bring them down here. Not an overly complicated setup. We do also have rubber right here. So again, I'm going to smart split these. And this is one of those things that I'm going to monitor as we go. Because this is kind of one of the big deals, in my opinion, as we get closer and closer to this setup, right? So, first things first, let's run out this guy. Looks like that power pole might get in our way. That might have to go. Yeah. We're going to have to bring it over further. Get out of my way, power pole. Yeah. Oh, God. I hate it when it ticks. I'm sure anyone who's playing this game and, like, you're hovering and then you just, like, slightly slide. It drives me bonkers. All right. Very good. Let's do that, and let's bring that guy in like so. And then this guy here, we will match up with this belt here. Say right there. So this will come in to there and go on over. And we already have 3 of the 4 right now, right? Pretty straightforward, pretty easy, but we already got 3 of the 4. That sounds great to me. All right, let's connect this back up and bring this one over to, say, there. And then we will bring it in, redo this, right? Boom, to boom. Okay, hold on. Let me fix it. 1, 2. I can fix it. I can fix it real good. There we go. Fixed it. Let's get rid of that one. All right. Very nice. So we have rubber. We will have circuit boards as well. We have 3 of the 4. So I'm just going to bring down my aluminum casings somehow from upstairs. Maybe I can kind of combine it in here. I don't know. I'll figure that one out here, and then we will complete this radio control unit. All right, nice and easy. Bring them on over, and that will give us radio control units. Very, very good. Now, all things considered, I don't need to make that many. Let's just make 3 instead. That brings us down to 1 crystal oscillator. You know, a few less circuit boards. That's the 10 that we should have that will eventually overflow, I assume. I hope. I may get more circuit boards just to, like, bolster that out of the digital storage, or we'll just set it and forget it, which is a completely viable option for sure. Other than that, we got our organization to go into industrial storage here. Boom, boom, like so. And, of course, we can do our dimensional depot on top of that with our connector. Beautiful. Simple and effective. What is going on there? I do not know. All right, default it is. Okay, so that should bring us everything we need for radio control units, all in due time. Again, pretty easy fix, pretty easy setup. I spent a long time to say the least, working on the supercomputers and not really showing you all the supercomputers. So, you know, I've been working very, very hard and diligent for a long time, but we got it done, right? So, getting all this together, very straightforward, and radio control units. Excellent. Now, from there, we needed to get ourselves back over to our supercomputer area, and we can make ourselves the adaptive system that we were already chatting about, right? So that should be pretty easily done. Our ma'am did also finish a research, so what did we get? Electric motor and infused uranium cell. Oh boy. I'm sure both are absolutely amazing. Let's go with the more complicated one here, the infused uranium cell, and it looks like we can at least scan another one to get that electric motor, so that should work out pretty darn nicely. At least for that one recipe, but there's probably even more. So, on that note, the adaptive units, I'm debating just... No, you know what? I was like, oh, I can handcraft them. But then I'm kind of sitting there going like, why? Why would I do that to myself? So, let's just go set it up. Let's set it, let's forget it, and let's move on. Okay, a pretty easy setup. I got a splitter down there for supercomputers, and I've got a... Why is this not going? Is that not on the line appropriately? Apparently not. Okay. Smart splitter on the line, please. Thank you very much. And we will do overflow accordingly. Yada, yada, yada. And now we should have all the adaptive control units. Beautiful. I did decide to sloop this one because why not? A little bit more power, but you're doubling some of these higher end things. That might be worth it, especially in like an assembler, right? I was even kind of thinking like doubling these supercomputers at no extra cost of the inputting resources might not be a bad idea, right? Like... This one I'm not as concerned about because I actually have this matching up quite nicely now. We're basically maxing out perfectly, right, in the system. But some of these, like, end ones, yeah, why not? Why not, right? So, very good. Okay, on that note, though, let's get ourselves another storage here. Like so. Again, nothing complicated. Just going to throw it into a dimensional depot, and then that way we have it ready to go. All right, so that should give us the start of our assembly director systems. They're slow, right? 80 seconds per craft. It's going to take a while, right? It's going to take a while, but at least we've doubled that now, right? And there you go. I think we got our first ones, which is great. Assembly director system. Excellent. Okay, anyways, that is a check mark right off the box, right? Pretty straightforward. The other one that we could probably work towards, we should set up a modular engine and a flexible framework kind of craft as we work towards, you know, the turbo motor. But I think the main thing here is the cooling system. And I've kind of been looking through the different cooling system possibilities, and that one's a tough one. It really is, because the heat sinks themselves are pretty straightforward. Not too complicated, right? This one we can literally make at the steel factory. No big deal. But to bring together the cooling system, we also need, like, motors and heat sinks. And we don't really have much for, like, copper in the other base, but I think there is a copper node nearby. So I might make the cooling systems at the steel base. Again, this is all leading towards trains bringing us everything that we need in one location. whatever that may be and whatever that may look like. Am I avoiding it? I don't think so, but I'm sure some of you are probably like, why you mentioned trains. Where's my train? Yeah, it's a possibility, right? But for now, I am trying to figure out just how big of a base I really need. What all I'm trying to bring into that base. You know, what are the staples that I'll need moving forward? And going from there. But, you know, I might just have to pull that trigger. I just don't want to make it a mess. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way about bases and stuff, but, like, I just don't want my base to look like a mess. I want it to look more completed and, you know, look good. Like, at least my oil one over there, like, it's organized. It's a little chaotic, but it's an organized chaos in my mind, right? Whereas this base here, I really want that to be, well, it's impossible to probably say perfect, but I want it to be even more organized, more thought out, more designed. And that's all going to stem from the train and what items we're bringing in versus not, and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's one of those little details that I've been thinking about a lot. Probably far too much. Okay? In the meantime, though, we are maxed out on our fused frames, so let's grab those guys. Let's grab the turbo motors that we have, because why not? And let's get ourselves the quick wire 5, and that way those can all be producing in the background, except for the turbo motors, of course, as we see fit. All right, in the ma'am, what did we get? Thank you, ma'am. All right, we got uranium fuel unit alternate recipe. Okay. That's got control rods, or electromagnetic connection rod. That seems like a good recipe. Let's grab that one. And it seems like we have even more to scan, which is great. I love scanning things and discovering new things. On that note, though, I think we're going to leave it there. I'm going to do some digging. I'm going to crunch some numbers, things like that, on setting up the cooling systems and that automation, which I think I'm going to do over there at the aluminum plant. And then from there, we can start. I'll keep working on that and start planning that a little bit more as we go. Maybe we'll touch on that at times and then do other things, because we got this cooling system, and then we're going to have to make, you know, the next thing and the next thing, like the, what's the one that we unlocked there as well? It's Purdy. Where is it here? So the thermal propulsion rocket, which we need, right? That's the modular engines, right? So we're going to need modular engines, that cooling system, and turbo motors for that one, right? That's a big recipe. And all of those items, almost all of those items, except for the fused modular frame, we are not crafting, right? So that's a big one for sure. And what was the other one? There was another one that I saw that I'm going to need to worry about. Cooling system, obviously, right? But it was something else. I don't remember what. But, the magnetic field generator, right? The versatile framework and the electromagnetic control rod. Again, 2 items that we're not currently crafting. So there's a lot to be built. But anyways, that's it for us. Oh, I wanted to take a look. Where are we at on our coupons before we end? Another 132. That's pretty good, right? That brings us pretty close. No? Well, we're over halfway, which is nice. We're almost at 60% of the way to the golden nut. I think that's pretty darn good. All right. Well, with this coupon loading up in our dimensional depot, I think now is the perfect opportunity to say thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe, like, support the channel, Discord, all that fun stuff. And we will see you in the next episode of Satisfactory. Bye-bye.